welcome back to my channel. I'm Christina and I'm a zero waste wannabe. Last week we talked about grocery shopping and preparing to go grocery shopping zero waste, and today we're actually going to go grocery shopping. So I have compiled all of the things that I will need for my trip today. I have made a list on my cell phone so I know exactly what I'm gonna get so I don't end up buying things in packaging that I don't need, and I am ready to go. So I have my jars for some of my liquids, and I've got some nuts and some beans that I'm gonna buy. I have this little container. I'm gonna buy some spices in bulk, and I brought my big sugar container because I am almost out of sugar. I also have a chalk pen I decided to use today so I can go ahead and label all of my jars ahead of time. I also have a couple containers for some meats that I'm planning on buying. Unfortunately, it is New Year's Day. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2018. So the butcher shop that I usually go to is closed today, so I will just be taking these to the meat counter at my grocery store to be filled. I've got a bunch of random produce bags, so I'm ready to buy a bunch of produce. I've got some miscellaneous shopping bags to put everything in at the end, and I even have an empty milk container that I'm going to take back so I can get my $2 deposit back. And then I just have a large canvas bag that I've had for years and years. My mom gave it to me several years ago, and this is a great bag for carrying everything because it's nice and thick and it holds almost all of this. Usually I can get it all to fit. So follow me and we're gonna go grocery shopping today. Okay, so I'm here at the grocery store and I want to buy some wild rice in one of my own jars. So I have weighed my jar and I have written the tare weight, that's again the empty weight of the jar, on the lid of my jar, and then I've also written the PLU number that corresponds with the wild rice. So if we look up here, this is the rice that I'm gonna buy, and this is the PLU number. So the PLU number gives the cashier the identity of the item that I am buying. So they will need both of these items. So now I'll just go ahead and scoop the rice into my own jar. Or I will attempt to because it's a small jar. It might get messy. Ta-da! Wild rice, no packaging. Okay, I'm now going to buy some bulk basil seasoning. So I'm doing the exact same thing that I did with the wild rice. I have the tare weight of my little jar, or my little Tupperware container, and I also have the PLU number of the basil. So now I will just fill this up with some dried basil using a clean spoon from the clean spoon bin. And now when I get home, I can just transfer this into one of my own spice jars, and I have bought spices package free. Okay, so now I want to buy some sugar in my large sugar container. So I first went to an empty checkout counter and I asked the checkout woman if she could tare my container for me. So she simply just put it on the scale for me, and it weighed 1.36 pounds. So I will need to give that number to the cashier when I go to check out. So I'm simply just going to fill up my massive container of sugar with some sugar from a bulk bin here, and then I will have plastic-free sugar. All right, I am back from my grocery trip, and you can see in front of me all of the things that I bought today. So I bought my sugar in my own container, I bought some kidney beans and some almonds and a bunch of bulk items in my own jars as well that you saw. I also bought a lot of produce items. So some items such as lettuce I went ahead and put in my own produce bags, but other items I just put straight in my cart because there's really no need to put them in a bag. There's no need to spend the extra resources to get more bags when I can just put them right in my cart. I also got some bread from the grocery store, and I just put it right in one of my own produce bags, so that will be package-free bread. I got some Castile soap so I can make some cleaners. Castile soap is in a plastic bottle, but actually these bottles are 100% recycled plastic, which is not something that you see very often. And then I can also recycle this bottle. I have heard of a lot of places offering a refill of Castile soap, but nowhere that I shop unfortunately offers that. So I just buy a larger bottle of it and I use it all the time. So it's absolutely worth it to me. I've also bought some soaps without packaging. So one of the really interesting things about going zero waste is that you start to realize that just soap is soap is soap. You don't necessarily need a different soap for your face and your body and your hair and this and that. Sometimes one bar of soap just works for everything, and when you can get it without packaging, it's even better. The one issue that I did run into was buying my meat. So you can see here I bought a couple of meat items from the butcher counter. And like I said, the butcher shop that I usually shop at is closed due to today being a holiday. So I wasn't able to go to the butcher shop where I know that they are more than happy to take my containers. So I went to the butcher counter and I gave them my container and I said, I want to use this container. And unfortunately, they said that they couldn't do that today. Sometimes they let me, sometimes they don't, but I'm gonna keep asking every time I go because if they let me sometimes, it's worth it for me to ask. Now, either way, even though they weren't able to use my own containers, this is a lot less waste to just have the butcher paper rather than to have my meats packaged in a styrofoam tray with a piece of plastic wrap around it. This is a lot better. And I can pick exactly how much I want to buy so that I can really avoid extra food waste that way as well. So I will do another video at some point at the butcher shop because not only do I buy my meats there, but I also buy butter and eggs, and I want to show you guys what those look like at the butcher shop as well. I mean, it looks like butter and eggs, but way cooler because it's at a butcher shop. So that was my grocery trip for the week. And now you have all of the tools in your arsenal to prepare for your grocery shopping trip and then also to go grocery shopping. And there's a lot of other things that are available in bulk sections that I didn't need to buy today, but I encourage you to, again, as I mentioned in last week's video, go on a scouting trip. Go see what's available in your area and see what options you can buy in bulk and without packaging. So if you liked this video and the one before, please hit the red subscribe button below so that you can get notifications whenever I post new content. And then also, if you have any other questions about grocery shopping or just zero waste in general, please leave me a comment below and I will answer them in a new video. So stay tuned until next week for my next video, and I will see you guys then.